Welcome to No Excuses. Here we are. I am posting again within a week. That is amazing. In my last video, I talked about some of the things that have been happening in my life, and I talked about how I was restarting right then, right there. So I wanted to talk to you about what I'm actually doing for my restart. So what is the plan? Well, a couple months ago, I actually joined Weight Watchers. It was part of a work thing, and I joined it, and I actually did it for about a half a month, and I had some success. Weight Watchers has always been a successful venture for me. I lost a lot of weight 10, 15 years ago. And so I was like, let's go back to what works, and that was Weight Watchers. So I am actually doing Weight Watchers. And I actually plan on getting involved in exercise and all of that. But right now I am working on 2 habits. I'm going to work on 2 habits at a time, and they may be rotating, they may be changing at different levels. So the first habit I'm going to work on is to track my food. Tracking for me is absolutely huge. Number one, because when I don't track, I tend to start eating more. I think I'm eating healthier, but when I actually look at what I ate and track it, I find out that, oh my word, I went crazy. I started at the beginning of December and I was only tracking. I'm not worried about how much I'm eating, I'm just tracking. And I was finding that I was like 30 points over per day. That's a lot of overage. I was eating double the amount of food. So it's important because it actually keeps me grounded. It keeps me from eating a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. The other reason kind of goes hand in hand, and that is because when I am tracking, I tend to sit back and say, you know what, you got to put this down. Maybe you shouldn't have that. And it is a way to keep me cognizant. So there's 2 reasons why tracking was my number one. And I will also say that I did start tracking on that 1st of December, and I was up there at that 30 points over. And I have tracked consistently through this first week of December. And I actually, as of last night, ended up with 1 point left over. Huge difference just from being cognizant and from tracking and knowing what I'm eating. Now, just because I've tracked a week, I don't call it a victory. I want to track another full week before I actually set my next habit into place. I want to do something for 2 weeks before I actually say that, okay, this habit is a habit and we're moving on. So I have another week of tracking before I actually add another habit in. Habit number 2 that I'm working on is my water. My water has been horrible the last couple months. I drink my 24-ounce Tervis mug in the morning. It actually has a vitamin pack in it, a vitamin and mineral packet in it. I'll put a link below so that you know what I'm drinking. It is actually just healthy, and I drink that every day. And this one is usually pretty easy to get because it's done usually before I come to work, not today. And then at my desk, I also have a 30-ounce Yeti with water in it. And this is where I start to fall because I'm not drinking my water while I'm at work. So I'm ending up with maybe 30, 40 ounces, which is not enough. So my second habit that I'm working on is to actually drink water, more water. I want to get to at least the 64 ounces. This habit is not going as well as the tracking. I still have a lot more to go because I'm still only up to about 45, 50 ounces a day. So I'm still working on that one. So I'm still working on 2 habits, my first 2. The first one is almost ready to roll and call that a done habit. The water, still have a while to go. So I'm going to call that a victory. Now, as I said, I'm a little bit more cognizant of my food, and I had a huge non-skill victory. And that was in the fact that I made apple dumplings for Jason. He requested them, and they looked delicious. I ate 1, and I was done. I left the rest sit. That's a huge non-skill victory. I still have not kicked into hiking or exercise. It's hard to hike when my hiking partner is still injured. Now, last weekend we went to Mechanicsburg. We wanted to check out the REI, which is now the closest one to where we live. And there was a dollhouse store. So I bought a few things at the dollhouse store, and I actually found a pair of bike shorts at the REI. And it's a pair of shorts. If you look at them from the outside, it looks like a normal pair of shorts, but on the inside there is a lining. They were at a greatly reduced rate, as in 70% off or more. And to make matters better, whenever we got to the cashier, we actually checked our co-op points and we had enough points to pay for them. Didn't pay a thing. At the dollhouse store, I did actually buy 3 things. It is for a project that I have been working on for my mother. I have always wanted to do a memory box. There is a picture from the 70s that I have always wanted to recreate in miniature. And the picture is crazy because my skirt or pajamas or whatever I was wearing is really, really high. My father also is wearing high water pants. Don't know what happened with my dad and I, but it's a picture that I wanted to recreate. And so I actually sat down and started working on that for this year. I took a couple liberties because I do know that I got a kitchen playset one year while we were in that house. Avocado green, for sure. So I wanted to put a little piece of that in also. We also had a cat that I wanted to put in the scene, and plus all of my dollhouses have a cat. And then we also, one year we lived in that house, we had a live Christmas tree that we actually kept in the basement and celebrated Christmas in the basement. But I used my artistic license and I moved that up into the actual living room for the dollhouse. So let's go ahead and look at that. So I had to buy like 3 things. I kept it with the 3 things that I needed for that. I needed candles, a wash tub, and a cat. So I was really impressed with myself. On the way home, we decided to get off the interstate and I ended up taking a wrong road. So we went down a road we don't normally go in and we stopped at a state park and we did do a little bit of walking. I would not even call it a hike. We just checked out the area. Very pretty. We will be back whenever Jason's foot is healed. This weekend will be a crazy one for me. I turn 50 years old this weekend and I will be off work. We have a doctor's appointment for Jason that we're going to, and we're probably going to try to do something a little bit fun. And I am also going to be making cookies. A couple years ago, I actually talked a video about how my mom was making me my birthday cookies. She says they're a labor of love, they take time, and she always made them for me for my birthday. She's unable to this year because of the stroke, so I am going to make them myself. And I'm very excited about it because they're so delicious. So I know there will be some cookies eaten. I will track them, and that is the habit that I'm working on, so we're good. But I know we're gonna get into some other stuff this weekend, and I'm not sure that I'm gonna be cooking a whole lot because it's my birthday weekend. But like I said, I'm good because my goals are to track and to drink water. Tracking doesn't matter if I eat extra cookies this week. Will happen very soon. But right now, my habits are to track and to drink water. So it's all good. And plus, you only turn 50 once. So I feel like I'm making good progress. I'm setting down a good ground base to get myself back on track. And I'm excited about what the future is going to hold. No excuses.